Good morning, everyone. How you all are? Hope you all are enjoying Ganesh festival with care. So today's quote for the day is: If you risk in your life, you're going to risk everything in your life. It means that you need to take a risk, healthy risks. It doesn't mean that ma'am has told we should take a risk in life. We should be taking some wrong risk. No, children. Taking risk means you all are admitted in classic school wherein you need to risk to study. You take a risk that you have got the books, you need to study them. You should not think that no, ma'am is not there, school is not there, how should I start it? Okay, these all things you should keep aside and take a dictionary, and as and how the videos are coming, you all take the use of the videos and sit with the dictionary if you find anything. So you need to be tackling, or you may send any sort of problems, or you may have raised some questionnaires, you can send it to us. Okay, like this way my quotation meaning I have told, and we will start the next lesson, that is first lesson B part. Okay, first lesson was the Harappan civilization, and next moving to the next civilization. Okay, we will learn something else now. We need to learn about the Western Asia. Okay, so what they were doing, how their civilization has taken place. So there is lot of changes what we learned in Harappan civilization compared to Harappan, how this is changes. It is one of the oldest civilization which has taken place. So everyone open your textbooks, page number is 21. Okay, children, open your textbook, page number is 28, and the point or the paragraph is first paragraph. We'll read for some time, then we'll start understanding what it is exactly. Okay, I hope everyone has opened their textbook. Okay, children, let's start reading. You all need to read with me. The River Valley Civilization Part 2. Mesopotamia, that is modern Iraq. Okay, Mesopotamia is a name which was given years back, and now it is called as a Iraq. Mesopotamia is the Iraq of modern times. Here a great civilization arose in around 5000 BC. Mesopotamia is a Greek word which means land between two rivers. On looking at the map of West Asia, we find two great rivers, one is the Euphrates and the Tigris. Flowing through the region, Mesopotamia is the land between rivers Euphrates and Tigris. About 150 years back, archaeologists discovered the ruins of some ancient towns and cities. They collected thousands of clay tablets with strange words engraved on them. Henry Ravelson, a great archaeologist, was able to decipher these inscriptions. In this way, the secrets of ancient civilization of Mesopotamia became known to the world. The span of this civilization was from 5000 BC to the 500 BC. The lower part of the Mesopotamia valley was called Sumer region. It was heart of Mesopotamia. The people living in Sumer region were called Sumerians. Sumerians. They were the first to develop an advanced civilization in Mesopotamia. This is also called as the Sumerian civilization. Religious dominance. Religion dominated the Mesopotamia civilization. There were priest kings to start with. They had both religious state authority. From the very beginning, each city-state had its own god. So the tradition of worshipping many gods continued even during times of empires in Mesopotamia. The chief gods worshipped were Enlil, Marduk, Assur, Ishtar, etc. The Sumerians had built many temples of gods. These were called ziggurats. These temples were decorated with statues and many other gods. Temples were made burnt bricks, colored tiles, marble slabs were used to beautify them. These were very high, almost reaching skies built in the series of tiers. The Mesopotamians also worshipped the forces of nature such as sun, the moon, rain, the stars. They placed the statue of sun god at the highest pedestal and on the top story. The temples served many useful purposes. They were the center of education. They were also used as an observatory by the astrologers to study the planets and stars. Sometimes the temples also served as places of trade and commerce. The Mesopotamian people also believed in life after death. They placed eatables, articles used along with the dead body and tombs. The three social classes, one is upper class, middle class and lower class. Okay children. After me explaining, again you people have to read at home once how I was reading, where I was taking the pause, where I was increasing my voice. Same way, you need to read it to understand it more. Okay. So, Mesopotamia is a modern Iraq. It is a modern Iraq. In olden days, it was called as a Mesopotamia. So, in Mesopotamia, it is a place Iraq, which is now known as Iraq, Iran and Iraq, the neighboring countries. So it is a Muslim country. Basically, Iraq is a Muslim country, and it was started 500 BC ago. Okay, from 5000 BC to 500 BC it was said. Okay, the meaning of Mesopotamia. What you mean? What the word Mesopotamia means? It is the land between, Mesopotamia is a land or the area between two rivers. Okay, two mountains in between a river flows means what we say? Valley. Valley civilization. Hindu civilization is a valley civilization. Same way, when we take a Mesopotamia, the name Mesopotamia says that it is two rivers. It is the in between land of the two rivers. Two rivers are flowing. In between that land is called Mesopotamia. Okay, children? And those two rivers, because of two rivers, the name Mesopotamia has come. The meaning of Mesopotamia is two rivers. So what it means? Okay, which are those great rivers which made this civilization? You know that we learnt in first lesson that all civilizations have taken place on the banks of rivers. So here are two famous rivers in Iraq. They are Tigris and Euphrates. These two rivers are also what you can say in Mesopotamia, the civilization Mesopotamia. These two rivers played very important role. You have learnt in first lesson, because of these rivers there we can situate a city, because water is the main source for any sort of a business, trade, commerce, or anything you take, you need water. So they mostly, the ancient people or our great grand old ancestors thought that without water we cannot survive. So they made their civilization near the river parts. Okay. So which are the two rivers? One is Tigris and one more is Euphrates. So this Mesopotamia was unearthed. Unearthed means discovered in the 150 years back. Like now we are in 2020. So it was discovered 150 years back. That was somewhere 1790. Okay. So who discovered? Henry Rawlinson. He was a famous archaeologist who discovered this land. Okay. So what he discovered? He found some clay tablets, not your regular tablets which you Ningle in your mouth. Tablets means it's a flat surface of the stone on which they have written something. Inscriptions. I have read it two times. Inscriptions means it's a written language. Some language which they have written. What they were knowing the languages, that language they have written, and Mr. Sir Henry Rawlinson was a person who made those tablets to the readable or text material. Like now this common English, this is worldwide, anyone can read this. Okay, We learn 26 alphabets. From that we can read. If I write in Kannada, you are able to read Kannada? Yes, you know Kannada, you read Kannada, Hindi. But this is a language, clay tablet on which the inscriptions, the written language is a language which is very old language. Okay, so Mr. Rawlinson, anyhow, he was a he was a great archaeologist. I told you archaeologist means the one who unearthed the things which has gone under the earth. Okay, he found these inscriptions written on the stone. Okay, and he made it converted into the plain textbook, like material into the plain textbook that you, me, or anyone else can easily read it. Okay, it should not be a difficult task. So he made his mind and he studied so many things about these Mesopotamia, the civilization, what it may be, what they have written it, whether it is the rules and regulation, how we have a constitution rules, no? Like we should do this only, we should not do this. Okay, age for voting, age for marriage. So we have rules, n number of rules, how to follow the traffic rules, how to walk on the footpath, isn't it? We are not supposed to walk on the roads, and when to fill the current bills, when to fill the water bills. We have every norms which your parents, you are not aware of it, but your parents knows. Even in school, we have certain time wherein we have to pay the fees and take the receipt, isn't it? So same way, our ancestors also have made some rules and regulations for having their civilization or the leading their life successfully. Isn't it, children? So who was the famous archaeologist? It is Henry Rawlinson, who has given to the world about the Mesopotamian civilization. So it was like from 500 BC to 5000 BC. So lower part, Iran, this lower part, you can see here, this lower part is called Sumerian. Okay, the lower region or the part of this Mesopotamia is called Sumer region. Which region? Sumer region. And the people who were living in that lower area, lower area. So in India, which is the lower area? Which is the lower area in India? This is lower area. South. We are all are in south region. We are also in the lower sections of southwestern. When we go to Kerala, that is south east. Okay, so we are southwestern, Karwar, Goa. These all are southwestern states of India. We are staying in the lower sections of India. So same way during that period, Mesopotamian civilization period, the people who were staying lower the nation are called Sumerians and Sumer, and the people who were staying there are called Sumerians. Okay. Now, what religion or religious they were, how they built their, whether they were worshipping the god or no. They were worshipping the god. They were very much, what you can say, they made their own statues, the sculptures in the stone, the writing in the stones, everything they made, and they were very much famous in this all dealings. So, priest kings, they were the people who were the main priest kings, means now you go to any temple, there is a priest who is worshipping the god. Okay, worshipping the god means praying the god, decorating the god. The famous temple in Dharwad, the festival takes place, fair, Lakshmi Narayan temple. You see there, many priests are sitting there. Priest means the one who with the lungi and he has put some upper Panchashalya. In Kannada they say Panchashalya. So they are own that and they are worshipping God only. Whenever you go, they give you prasad, you consume that prasadam and they give you some flowers and you have offered for the blessings. You have gone for God to offer that blessing. You wanted to take the blessings of God. So you have gone there and that person, particular person, he takes the arti of God and he gives you the blessings of God. So we take it, the arti, Mangala arti, and his work is only worship the God, isn't it? So they were considered, the priests were considered to be the very highest place, and they were having those all the authority in their hand. Priests, kings means priests only were the kings who were holding the civilization or the town civilization or the city civilization. Okay, so city civilization own God. Okay, so in city they had the state, like they were also knowing the city place and all like that things, and they had their own god, they had their own god there situated, like in Dharwad we have Durga Devi temple in Dharwad, isn't it? Lakshmi Narayan temple in Dharwad. So same way they were having their city level, means Grama Devata, we worship no Grama Devata. Whenever we have any puja at home or during the Shravana, holy months, we go and worship to that goddess, especially in the Navratri, 9 days. Okay, we worship the god 9 days, isn't it? The goddess Durga near your fort. Okay, you might have seen most of you all near the fort, Dharwad Fort, Civil Hospital. There is a oldest temple which was built in 800 BC. Okay, that is considered to be the one of the oldest temple. You can see the inscriptions outside the temple. If you have a time, you please, when you get a time with a mask and sanitizer, you can go to the temple. Okay, Durga Devi temple, which is situated near the civil hospital. Okay, so there outside only you can see one stone is kept and something written on it. You can feel it also. The inscriptions you can feel. You are not able to read it because it is in the Devanagari. Devanagari is the oldest language of Dravidians, isn't it? So it is written in that language, but you can see what you mean by inscriptions, how they have written. See, it is being written on the stone. It is not so easy. A small stone, you just take it and you just try to break it. It takes lot of time. And in olden days, how they have carved it. Carve means kettane. To make a statue, a small Krishna statue, they takes 1 month, 2 months like that to give the shape and make it perfect for the worshipping. So when you go to the Durga Devi temple, you can see the inscriptions over there. Many inscriptions are there, but I have seen only one inscription which was in a very big size, and it is, you can read it, try to read it. You can even feel those written things. If you have gone to Hospet, Hampi Hospet, there also you can see the inscriptions. There are many stones where they have written. The olden age people, ancestors have tried to write on it, isn't it? So these are inscriptions which you can see in our Dharwad only, isn't it? And chief god was Enlil, Marduk, Asur and Ishtar. I told you city wise. They have in their city, they were worshipping a god, and in that city they worshipped the gods Enlil, Marduk, Asur and Ishtar. These are the names of God, the famous names of gods which they were worshipping, and the temples are also called. Temples are of the place for trade, their commerce, their education, and they called the temples as Jaggerates. Okay, the temple name was Jaggerates, isn't it? Sumerian is a lower region, Jaggerate is a place of the temple or the worshipping place where the people were worshipping, or the where they kept their statue in that temples, isn't it? And they were, the temples were very decorative. Okay, decorative means if you are seeing the Lakshmi Narayan temple, you can see when you enter inside, you can see that floorings, the way they have put all the decorative items. Like now Ganesh Chaturthi, you have seen the parkari, okay, made with paper and the balloons for decoration. So same way, they have used colorful marbles to carve the floorings down. The tiles also were very colorful, very nice, beautiful one. Okay, so what they used for carving? The colored tiles they used, and the burnt bricks. As in Harappan civilization, the bricks were burnt, means for the life or for the more time, the durability will increase when the brick is burnt. Okay. Then the marble slabs. They use the marble slabs for construction of their temples. The worshipped, they were very much cautious, or they were very much, what you can say, very intuition, very much nature believing people. See, every morning when you get up, you give a water to sun god. Everyone believes in sun and moon, isn't it? During Ramzan, whole day they do the fasting, isn't it? But evening when they see the moon, they just break their that day Ramzan, and the special festival Ramzan, which is a, what you can say then, which is the biggest festival in the whole year for Muslim people. That is also celebrated when they see the moon. If they see moon today, the evening 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, in their assembly or in their dargah or in their mosque, they announce commonly that today we have seen the moon and tomorrow we are going to celebrate the festival. So they, even Muslims, even Hindus, okay, every morning you give the earth to God, sun, no? Why you give sun the water? He don't have water, or he will drink that water? No. It is a belief, Hindu belief, that when you get up morning, early morning, and you give water to sun god, it depicts your culture, and you are surrendering whatever you have negative feeling, whatever blessings you offer to sun, you are giving him that water. Please God, bless me. Because we can see only sun, every day sun comes in his own time, moon comes in his own time. They are missing any time. Think, if sun doesn't come tomorrow, what will happen? What will happen? Many questions, many answers. Oh my God, tomorrow how I'll get up? What I'm going to do? How my day will start, isn't it? So when those Mesopotamian people, they were also believing the nature. Nature means the atmosphere outside, what we see it, isn't it? They were believing that also. They were very much interested, and they were very much, what you can say, in the priest type of culture, and upon that they were believing the sun and moon. Okay. Then the center of trade, what we learned in Ahmedabad, there was a dock, isn't it? So same way, their places, the temples were considered to be the center for their trade, okay, and their education, trade, education, and for the commerce. Commerce means business purposes. They holded these educational institutions, and they even appointed astrologers. They even appointed They even appointed the astrologers to study the stars and the moon and the distances. Okay, they were very much aware about these things also. They believed that we need an astrologer who can give a clear picture about the stars, how they move, what exactly the light comes from. So they were very much knowing this. So next is, they believed in the life after death. Very important, children. You know that when you study the Egyptian culture, you see that in Egypt they were having the pyramids, in which inside the pyramids they kept so many things for the dead body. Dead body means the one who is dead, one who is not surviving no more. There is no survival of a person. If you are seeing the burials of Hindus, some Hindu culture, when a person is dead, okay, he is no more, died, they put salt so that their body should decay slowly. Decay means it should lose its originality very slowly. They put the salt so that the small bacteria should not eat, or the body should not be spoiled so easily. It should be kept for so many days. And if a woman dies and her husband is still alive, they keep her Mangal Sutra and her nose pin in with that body only. They don't take it out. This is a Hindu culture. Wherein Mesopotamian civilization culture, they believe that life after death. They thought that if a person is dead, no more, no survival, but still he has a way in his burial place, and they used all these things like eatables, articles, which are kept inside the burial site, and they made a tomb. Tomb means, children, this shape. Okay, like your masjids have a tombs, no? Same, that shape of tombs they made and they buried the body inside and they used eatables, articles and kept for that person because they believed there is a life after death. And these Mesopotamian civilization peoples are divided into three types. Okay, how many types? Three types, basically three types. And the first goes upper class. Okay, which class? Upper class. Upper class means all royal people. Royal people means I have already told kings, queens, and for women, especially for the queens, they have given the most importance in their society. So they had all the luxury. All the luxuries means they had all the elephants, they have all the horses to travel from one place to other, and they were given all the first class condition, and people believed them to be the kings of that place, isn't it? Then second comes the middle class. Middle class means the people who are working for the king. Like which people are working for the king? The landlords, okay, and the trade business, the one who is doing the trade business, one who is handling the land, artists also, artists, those who are doing the sculptures, because stone culture and artistic culture was very famous in that time. So they consider these class of people as a middle class. After the upper class, they consider these people as very important and they have given the equal happiness or they can enjoy all sort of things what these royal people are enjoying, but not to their extent or not to beyond these royal people extent, but they were happy people. Middle class people were the happily going people. They had everything with them. Okay. Next comes the lower class people. Lower class people means all slaves. Slave means in Kannada they say slaves means those who work for landlords. They don't go for home. They have to stay in the land and they have to work. Isn't it? And these slaves were not treated very harshly. Harshly means they were not given so much of bad treatment. They were given food, they were given shelter. They were treated like a human beings. They were not treated like animals. They were good. They were very much this in their culture, isn't it? And these women were of slaves and even the labor, daily wage laborers also, they used to work for them. Okay children, so these are the keywords which you have to write in your classwork. You write down the second lesson, the river valley civilization, and write these key words in your first page only. The first keyword is Mesopotamia, second is Euphrates and Tigris. These two are the rivers and Mesopotamia is a civilization, name of the civilization. Clay tablets, okay. Decipher, Sumer, priest, worshipped, Jaggerates, pedestal, astrologer, comfortable, luxurious, slave armories. Okay, these are the 15 words which you need to learn and you all write these words in your first page. And today's homework, okay, you need to write in homework book. This is in classwork book. Okay, don't get confused. This is classwork children and this is homework, today's homework. Okay, first lesson, first part homework. So what is the homework today? Two questions I have given. You need to write in your homework book. So first question is, what are the three classes in Mesopotamia society? What are the three classes in Mesopotamia society? How they are divided? I have told you upper, middle and lower. Three classes you have to write down with examples. Okay. And the second question is, define. Define the term Sumer region. What Sumer region means and from where to where it starts. You have to define that. And the second one is Jaggerates. Jaggerates means temples. Okay, how they have worshipped the god there, which gods they have worshipped. And the third one is Sumerians. What do you mean by Sumerians? Okay. So these are the three things which you need to define, and this all part you need to write in your homework book. and these all part, keyword part, you have to write in your classwork. But don't forget to write it. Okay, you should write it, and whenever there is an online class, so I'm going to check the answers. I'm going to check your classwork. Okay, so please note down and write down. Okay, thank you, children. Thank you watching me. Okay, next class we will learn some more things about it. Thank you. Thank you very much.